When watching a college basketball game in November or December is starting to get intense, one of the broadcasters would say something like, "This feels like an Elite Eight game." Well, this game between the Auburn Tigers and the Michigan State Spartans is that exact Elite Eight game. Narratively and stylistically, this is the most interesting of this weekend's quarterfinal matches. Auburn and Michigan State, regular season champions in the SEC and Big Ten respectively, will meet here at Atlanta for the right there in San Antonio next Saturday. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. This is the last game of the Elite Eight, and it involves the two teams in the South region. Entering this game, Michigan State didn't play well against the Ole Miss Rebels as they were being indecisive, didn't get on the move, and fought for every basket. But even with the struggles, Ole Miss couldn't pull it away. The Spartans found their burst, got out alive by hitting their free throws, and put away the Rebels 73-70. This game is a tougher test for MSU, facing the Tigers. However, Auburn has had their fair share of struggles against the Michigan Wolverines, making too many mistakes in the first half, and the defense struggled against their size, and then it was as if they snapped out of their trance and realized that they were faster, stronger, and better, making Michigan look like they just had four guys on the court. One breathtaking second half later, it was Auburn coming out on top, 78-65. Still, these are two teams that were the top teams in their respective conferences during the course of the regular season. Michigan State won the Big Ten regular season title, comprised of a mix of underclassmen and newcomers, most notably freshman Jase Richardson, who might be the best player on the court every night, although he doesn't seem to realize it yet. Plus, Tom Izzo is one of the best coaches in the NCAA in men's basketball and over the course of its history. Auburn won the SEC regular season title and is led by a group of seniors and graduates of a freshman off the bench in Tahaad Pettiford, who plays like he believes he is the best player on the court, even for Johni Broome taking all the headlines into being a potential most outstanding player to tournament selection. Winner of this game will draw the Florida Gators in the Final Four at San Antonio. We already have one matchup that is confirmed. That is the Duke Blue Devils and the Houston Cougars will meet at San Antonio in the Final Four. To go on to what to watch, we begin with the Michigan State Spartans. First, MSU has to first win the rebounding battle if they want to win this game. They had an uncharacteristically poor rebounding performance against Ole Miss, being -4 on the margin, allowing 12 offensive rebounds to Michigan State's 5. This is a major priority for Izzo. Ole Miss is one of the worst rebounding teams in the SEC, but Auburn is not much better. And the Spartans will come out more physical in this game if they were to take this victory. For Michigan State, they're one of the top teams, at the very least, in rebounding, or the keys to pull off this victory. Fast break points also being a key for victory as well. MSU ranks 15th in the entire country rebounds per game. Auburn doesn't even crack the top 50. This margin isn't really that significant. But if the Spartans control the glass to get extra possessions, that favors them. When looking at Auburn's Sweet 16 win over the Wolverines, they could not have shot the ball worse from free in the first half, leading to a 2-point Wolverine lead in the half. Michigan played sensational perimeter defense, making Auburn uncomfortable. MSU is one of the best defensive teams in the nation, specifically when guarding the ball. If it extends their pressure to beyond the arc, they can force the Tigers into another subpar shooting day, given they were 8-28 from free against Michigan. Turnovers are going to be where the game is won and lost. The Spartans will get their share of them, even though Auburn turns over the ball 9.4 times per game. The emphasis on the offensive end. The Spartans had 4 turnovers in the first 5 possessions against the Rebels. When facing a team like Auburn, they'll take the extreme advantage of those blunders. If Michigan State can keep it to a single-digit turnover rate and limit the Tigers from capitalizing, they'll be in a good spot to win this game. For Auburn, I want to watch. On paper, they're the best team in the South region, led by Johni Broome, or by extent the best team in the nation. Broome is arguably the most important player left in the NCAA tournament. And there is a fair argument to say that his success relative to Auburn's overall is on par of Cooper Flagg's relative to Duke's. Both teams are still among the top without the stars, but with them on the court, they can still be the best in the nation. His 22-point, 16-rebound outing showed that he can be the most dominant player in the nation. That win over Michigan can lead to Tahaad Pettiford possibly getting an NBA draft selection this summer. He has been 2014-15 Kentucky Devin Booker-esque on the road to the Elite Eight. He's averaging a tad under 20 points through 3 games, all wins in those 3 games. there is the worry of getting from a non-draft name to an overnight selection that hinders his growth, even for him getting to the basket with hesitation moves, stunning defenders, knocking down threes, and making contested shots. Ultimately, it's put up or shut up for him, even for recency bias being dangerous. While Auburn is riding the momentum entering this matchup, there is worry about Denver Jones' defensive assignment. He's going to likely be in charge of guarding Jase Richardson, one of Michigan State's more dangerous scorers. Jones has been one of Bruce Pearl's most effective guard transfers of the last few years. Plus, the Tigers tend to start slow, but so do the Spartans. Auburn needs to focus on getting their offensive game plan earlier and not having to rely on halftime adjustments to pull away. Let's get to our starting fives. We begin with the Michigan State Spartans. On the point guard position, Jeremy Fears Jr. Starting at the number 1 spot, Jeremy Fears Jr., number 1. Jaden Akins, number 3, at shooting guard. Number 11, Jase Richardson at small forward as per his position. Jackson Kohler at center, and he is number 0. And number 55, Cohen Carr at the power forward position. For Auburn, their starting 5 looks like this. Denver Jones, one of the guards here. And for Auburn, to start things off, Denver Jones, number 2. Miles Kelly, number 13, at the shooting guard position. Chad Baker-Mazara at the small forward spot. Johni Broome at power forward. And at center is Dylan Cardwell. So 2, 13, 10, 4, and 44, the uniform numbers respectively for these starting 5s. Tom Izzo, 30th year as the head coach of Michigan State. And he's looking to pull off the magic that his team did 6 years ago when they faced the Duke Blue Devils. And that year they were led by Zion Williamson, Duke that is. Izzo being the longest tenured head coach among any NCAA men's basketball head coach with one team. Coaching staff consists of Doug Wojcik, Sadie Washington, Thomas Kelly, John Borovich, and Austin Thornton. Auburn's coaching staff consisting of Bruce Pearl, the head coach, his assistants being Stephen Pearl, Ira Bowman, Corey Williams, Chad Pruitt, and Mike Burgomaster. Stephen Pearl is the defensive coordinator, Burgomaster, the offensive coordinator of these teams. Of this team. 2 of our 3 referees are Don Daly and Jeffrey Anderson. We need to have confirmation on who is going to be the 3rd referee for this game. But as we go over entering this game, I'll recap the Houston versus Tennessee game, in which Houston put out Tennessee 69-50. The Volunteers still without a Final Four appearance. The Cougars have reached their 7th Final Four, the 3rd in Kelvin Sampson's career. He made it 2002 with the Oklahoma Sooners, 2021 with the Cougs. Leading the way for Houston was Milos Uzan, who put on another clinic, who had himself a clinic in the last game, but this time it's the LJ Cryer Show, a bounce-back game after he disappointed in the Sweet 16 game. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Emmanuel Sharp with 4 3-pointers that led the Cougars team. He had 16 points as well. Juwan Roberts with 2 steals and a block to go off his 9 points. Terrence Arsenault with 8 points, 2 of 3 from 3. 7 rebounds for Myleik Wilson, 4 assists. 8 rebounds for Javier Francis. Tennessee, most of their players are getting locked down. Only 2 players reached double figures. Jordan Gainey had 17 and Chaz Lanier had 17. No other Volunteer had more than 5 points. Lanier added 7 rebounds, and Felix Okpara had 9 rebounds to go with that as well. 5 assists for Zakai Ziegler, but nobody else could find any scoring rhythm. Heading into this game, they've yet to find out who's going to face Florida, who mounted a miraculous comeback over Texas Tech. Should Auburn win, it will be just the 2nd time in March Madness history in which all 4 number 1 seeds reached the Final Four. The other time was 2008. So that is on the line here. A record that could be extended. Who knows what exactly is going to happen, but we're going to take a look out for anything else, including Men's March Madness, Women's March Madness, and Men's Frozen Four tournament. I do want to go over some scores, especially in the latter. And such, we're getting back up to speed here at Atlanta. State Farm Arena, where we're at here for this game. The home of the Atlanta Hawks and the former home of the Atlanta Thrashers, now known as the Winnipeg Jets, the second incarnation of them. Fears, Richardson, Akins, Kohler, and Simon Zapala, the starting five. So that is the starting five for Michigan State. So one change as Tom Izzo benches Zapala in the Ole Miss game. So Cohen Carr will sit down to start off this game. Zapala is going to start at the center position. Izzo in his 30th year as MSU's head coach. 737 to 301 career record. And Bruce Pearl with 10 tournament wins with Auburn, the most in school history. 243, a 124 career record. Both the starting fives are on the court now. Zapala in place of Carr for MSU as Don Daly is at center court getting ready to tip off. MSU in the navy green, Auburn in the white. Johni Broome gets set. He is argued he will be the best player in the nation among all the best players left, among superstars. The tip up is there and we're underway. First possession to Auburn. As such, Michigan State will get the arrow should a jump ball commence. Inside it goes to Broome. Broome will look at the left hash. Broome spins, turns, banks it. How about this for a start for Johni Broome? On the left side, it is MSU. They'll retreat back to Fears. Jeremy Fears from Jaden Akins. Fears goes left. He'll swing it out to Richardson. Jase Richardson fighting an open Zapala. Zapala moves up. The Polish Maestro moves it back over to Richardson and now over to Fears. Fears with 5. Cuts left. Fears looks. Fears has to get this off with 1. He's going to look. Fire this with deep 2. Bounces off the rim, but the rebound is grabbed by Dylan Cardwell. He's one of 2 Cardwell brothers here, and this one poked out. Who has it? This is Auburn's third Elite 8 appearance after 1986 and 2019. Ball will go to the Spartans. What a banking by Johni Broome. Auburn has 31 wins this season, the most in program history. Looking to extend that to 32. But Tom Izzo has a trick or two up their sleeve. Broome finds Dylan Cardwell. His brother Drake Cardwell is on this team. Dylan is a graduate student. Drake is a redshirt freshman. On the left, it is Broome. Broome is watched by Kohler and Broome. Fadeaway shots. How about it? You cannot get those open looks available for arguably the best player in the nation. There are 3 players with at least 20 points in each of the March Madness games for them. Especially in that Sweet 16 win over Texas Tech. On the right, Michigan State's in their 15th Elite 8 appearance, their first in 6 years when they took down Duke. Right quarter 3, sinks it. A perfect shot from Jackson Kohler, the junior from American Fork, Utah. Played high school ball at Southern California Academy, but now Michigan State's back on defense, one of the best defensive teams in the nation. Getting into open is Baker-Mazara. Now it is Broome. What magic is he going to do? Broome spins, turns, it's laid in. He has all 6 Auburn points now. It feels like it's too easy for him because it's free real estate. Broome had his career against Big Ten opponents is 13.6 points per game and 11.4 rebounds per game. Already at 6 points. Inside the foul, count it! Jase Richardson draws the head contact and he'll shoot a free throw. A cut to the inside as he gets by Denver Jones. That's the assignment that Auburn's going one-on-one. It's a tough assignment for Jones as Richardson's one of the more electric scorers in Michigan State. 20 points against Ole Miss after having 21 in the second round. Sinks the and one. We're leveled up at 6. J.P. Pegues on this Auburn roster. He was a Furman transfer. As Jones goes left, Pegues hit that famous shot against Virginia on an intercepted pass in which Virginia tried a desperation heave. when Clark was in a straitjacket, as described by Kevin Harlan. Inside, Cardwell had it knocked away, saves it. Broome, excellent passing. Jones, in and out. And Richardson will go back with his ball on the rebound. Jeremy Fears will look for the free throw line and swing it back to Zappala. Zappala drops it off for Richardson. Richardson waits patiently with this. Richardson, he'll heave it away. Off the rim. And this will go back with Auburn taking control. On the far side, it is Kelly. Miles Kelly swings it out for Jones. The de facto point guard of this team, though Auburn players average more than 2.9 assists. Johni Broome, from Plant City, Florida, transferred from Morehead State, doubled up, swung it back, and Jones activates up. Jones with the free throw line, bounced up and out. Broome keeps this one alive for the Tigers. Miles Kelly, right corner, double rimmed out. And Michigan State will swing this back the other way. Here they come with Jase Richardson dropping this for Jeremy Fears Jr. The Joliet native moving over to the left side. Fears swings this to an open Zappala. Bounced out. Oh, a foul away from the ball as Zappala tried to crash into the basket. That was actually Kohler who fired the free. Zappala tried to get this offensive rebound. Bruce played college ball with Utah State and Longwood. Cohen Carr checks in for the first time for Michigan State. Auburn has a substitution of their own to counter. Chaney Johnson, the Alabaster, Alabama native. Throwing it all the way out. Trey Holloman on the court for the first time as well. In the first substitution, Carson Cooper. On the right wing is fed to Richardson. Richardson goes left. Finds a cutting Carr who slams it. How about Jase Richardson? Carr with 15 points against Ole Miss. Coming alive here. On the left wing, moving inside for Broome. Close stop by Cooper. Broome trying to find an open man. Broome cuts inside. Banks his mid-range shot. Wasn't Broome, but it was Miles Kelly, his teammate. As Broome set the one up. 11 points per game Kelly is averaging throughout the course of this tournament. Holloman trying to fake out Kelly. Holloman trying to get open. He is locked up all around. Swings this one out. Still on the left side is Richardson. Jase Richardson gets someone open. That is Cooper. On the right here is Holloman. Bounced out. Carr tried to get the rebound, but Auburn keeps this one alive. It is Tahaad Pettiford, their best six-man. Pettiford at the right wing. Is there an option available? Yes, there is. As it swung around, Broome still out there on the court. From the free throw line, Kelly. Yes, sir. Miles Kelly coming alive here for the Tigers. 5:25 into this first half. Already Kelly has 4 points. Kohler will swing this for Cooper. Cooper fakes out a man, and this one bounced out. Errant pass, and Auburn will take possession with 14:26 left. It is a 10-8 Auburn lead early in this game. We'll be back with you here from Atlanta. already more than a quarter of the way through in this game. Auburn and Michigan State have met just once in NCAA basketball play. That was a long time ago, as it was a Michigan State 70-69 win in the Midwest Regional Final between these two, but not a lot of meeting. That was actually Michigan State versus Tennessee last I checked, but Michigan State-Auburn have met just once previously. This is their first March Madness win. Tom Izzo is a perfect 10-0 against the SEC in March Madness with a plus 10.2 point differential per game. Back in here, with Auburn taking control of the errant pass. Michigan is 3 of 7. Michigan State, that is. Auburn 5 of 8. Auburn has yet to shoot and make a three-pointer. This is swung outside to Baker-Mazara. On the left side, ball loose. There's going to be a foul here against Richardson. Miles Kelly got hand checked. It's going to be a personal foul. And for those saying if I can show the game, well, I cannot do that because I will run into copyright issues with the NCAA. That is the problem here when broadcasting games. So best I can do is play-by-play of this game. For those wondering. Ja'Kai Howard, mid-range shot. Oh my! This Auburn team's so good at making mid-range shots. That was actually not Ja'Kai Howard. That's Chaney Johnson. But Michigan State looking to storm back with this. Johnson averaging 9.2 points per game with a 57% shooting rate. Moving right, Cooper has it knocked away. Here comes Kelly. Cooper right inside on him. He's blocked out. Kelly sinks the free. Auburn on a tear. How will Michigan State answer back? Through the right wing. Swing pass out for Jaden Akins, and now towards the logo. The Spartans looking to answer back as this is Holloman, who came off the bench here in this game. Through the left, swings it out over to Fiddler, and Holloman will activate up. Holloman with speed, lays this one up, but it bounced out. The Tigers looking to march back inside. Pettiford. Pettiford posts up. Doesn't hit it. Offensive rebound by Johnson. Another free attempt. Double rim. This time it is Fiddler who grabs his rebound. And the Spartans looking to restart. Baseline pass. Oh, Carr almost had it. Oh, that could have been a touchdown pass on the basket there, on the mark. In transition, the Spartans almost get one as Carr nearly had that pass, just couldn't get this. It was a little too high for him. Just missed him by inches. That's the third turnover against Michigan State in this game. Both these teams known for starting slow. However, Auburn is known for making halftime adjustments. We'll see how this goes on here. But so far, this first half has not been kind to Michigan State. On the left, spinning around is Broome, who swings this one out. Hit a free on the way. Baseline, yes. The three-pointer good. Michigan State down by 10. 3 straight games with at least 15 points off the bench for Pettiford. He's their best six-man. How does Michigan State counter? They're on a 12-0 run, Auburn that is. And getting closed out right, Akins swinging it back for Holloman. Here's Fears. Fears can dish it. Three-pointer for the right wing is too far. Nearly was an offensive rebound. It's deflected out. It will go to Auburn, and Tom Izzo is not happy about this. This is a de facto Auburn home game, given that Auburn is one state away from Atlanta. Auburn plays in the state of Alabama, that is, while Michigan State plays in the Michigan State Capitol. Auburn is still on a 12-0 scoring run the last 3:27, looking to extend that here. And they have Johni Broome still out there on the court, which helps them a ton. Positions post up, gets the ball. Watched one-on-one by Kohler. Broome. Broome drives baseline. Basket goes. As he banks it out the window. On the left side with speed is Akins. Akins drives. Can't get it. But it's kept inside by Kohler. Right wing free. MSU can't hit it. Broome can't grab the offensive rebound. Another free. Third time is not the charm. Yet another offensive rebound. Here's a fourth three-pointer attempt. This one bounced out, and finally, Auburn will grab it. Oh boy, it can't buy a three-pointer. They do not have a point in the last 4:40. That's 3 consecutive 3 points they missed. They have made 1 of 7. Box down the left side. And that allows Michigan State to grab this rebound. Does that end the drought here? Right wing free. They'll try again. Another three-pointer missed. Baseline can't get it. Color saves it. Here's another three-pointer. They just cannot get one. Oy, ay, 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 ay. 10:40 to go here in the first half. And already Auburn is living life large here with their 20-8 lead and their scoring run. Pettiford opens things up for Broome. He'll fire a free. Ho! That is money. And Tom Izzo will use his first timeout. It's a 23-8 lead for the Tigers. Broome making his case that I'm here. Don't forget about me. We'll be back. News out of Washington, D.C. Alex Ovechkin is officially 5 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record. We already have one Gretzky record that's broken. Sidney Crosby with the most point-per-game seasons in NHL history with 20. Gretzky, his record of 19 has been broken. Ovechkin stands at 890 career goals, 5 away from 895. Which would set as a new all-time NHL record. Gretzky's record is 894. It's an Auburn 23-8 lead. They're on an 18-0 run or 17-0 run. Michigan State has missed 10 straight shots and do not have any points in the last 5:33. So a lot of game left here. Fears will move on the right side on the hook and ladder. Moving it back inside. Here is Kohler. Jackson Kohler. Gonna look around the free throw line. And he gets a foul. Draws a foul, actually. That's Fiddler. Who do you say that? Number 1 versus number 2. We'll go to break again here. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned. So it's Sunday here. Last day of the Elite 8. Final 4 begins next Saturday on April 5th. Bruce Pearl and Tom Izzo, some of the best coaches in the NCAA as of now. Pearl with the best player on his roster, Johni Broome, who has a legitimate case for being the best player in the NCAA right now. We don't know if he and Cooper Flagg are going to be in the national championship game. Flagg gets to get by the Houston Cougars, led by LJ Cryer. It's going to be free throws first for Frankie Fiddler to end this dry spell for MSU. Good on the first one. So it's a 14-point deficit now. The final 5, as of right now, 10:04 to go in this first half. Fiddler still has one more shot. His second one. Down the middle. Tom Izzo wants to get his guys fired up. But in terms of field goals, they have not made one in the last 5:30 plus. Auburn wants to get set. Pettiford will feed it over to Johnson. Here's Broome, left-handed. Rolled out. And the rebound goes to MSU. Fears goes with speed. Almost sold one. And here's Akins. Jaden Akins goes back to Jeremy Fears. Fears wants to find an open man. There's nobody available. Cooper trying to run around, trying to find some space. Instead, he sets a screen for Fears. Kicked out for Fiddler. Left wing free on the way. Good! Fiddler getting back something for the Spartans. With 9:20 to go, he has the last 5 Michigan State points. Averaging 7 points per game. How's Auburn going to fare now? On the left wing, looking up baseline is Jones. Jones at the logo as he backs up and then restarts. Jones shifts left and opens up Chaney Johnson. Johnson had it pickpocketed by Fiddler, and his ball goes out, and it will stay with Michigan State. Johnson was fighting for the ball. Excellent defense by the Spartans. They'll poke this one loose. But what a move by Fears as Fiddler faked out Chris Moore on the left wing. Got him to overcommit. Off the first Auburn turnover, here come the Spartans. Auburn has committed 15 turnovers in the Sweet 16 against the Wolverines, tied for the second most this season that they've had in an NCAA basketball game. Zappala drops this one back. The layup off the window and in. Got that one in to go from Jase Richardson. Tahaad Pettiford trying to quell the Michigan State momentum after Michigan State was without a basket for 5:30 plus as this ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Michigan State. Michigan State's on a 7-0 run. What an adjustment by Richardson to get under a cutting Broome, who was right in on him. The quickness of Richardson with the advantage there. Michigan State making their last 2 shots, but they're still 5 of 18. 2 of 10 from free. Auburn 3 of 7. This bounced out, so now it's 3 of 8, but an offensive rebound. Swings it out for Jones. Jones will look. Fiddler's on him. Jones. Moore trying to get open. Moore, extra pass at the right corner to Kelly. Kelly moves around onto the paint. Baseline rejected. And the Spartans move this one back with pace. They like to go fast sometimes. Here's Fiddler again from this spot. Rebound goes to Broome as it was short of the basket. Off the miss, Jones moves back up with this. How are the Tigers going to fare? Jones steps back, fires the left wing free. Bounced up and out. And Zappala rushes to the board. On the left wing, Akins, this shake. He'll drop this one back again. Here is Jeremy Fears Jr. from the logo. 3 of 8 from 2, 2 of 11 from 3. Fears swings this one out. On the right wing, Richardson. Jase Richardson back to Jaden Akins. Akins with 7. Akins starts up with 5. Goes back out. Akins has to get something up. Short. Another offensive rebound. This is Zappala. Zappala on the paint. Zappala baseline hook. Second effort. Can't get it. And Broome saves it. 7:03 to go in this half. Auburn up 23-15. They've missed their last 4 tries. Denver Jones slowing it up. Parks at the logo. Jones opens up Broome inside the paint. Kicked right out for Broome. Extra pass right corner. Kelly drives it. Back door. Can't get it. And the Spartans are crowded. They got away from the pressure. Oh, and Fears trips. A trip there by one of the Auburn Tigers. Miles Kelly upset, but he knew what he did. We'll step away here with 6:39 to go. The Tigers lead 23-15. Everyone at the Capital One Arena crowd thought that Ovechkin had another goal, but it was deflected in by Pierre-Luc Dubois, washing us within one of the Buffalo Sabres who tied their game up. So now we're back in here with Auburn still in front, 23-15, but they have not scored in a while, missing their last 5 attempts. But Michigan State storming back here. Tom Izzo's group never quits. That's why he's one of the best coaches in the NCAA. They scored the last 7 points and are still on a 7-0 run. He's getting the interview from Tracy Wolfson over at the CBS broadcast. Largest deficit for Izzo's group, 15 points. The student section known as the E-Zone. And some student sections have some colorful nicknames. The Jungle is the student section of the Auburn Tigers. Back here, Michigan State has 8 wins with trailing by at least 10 points this season. They are known as the comeback kids this year. No matter the deficit, they can come back with it. But how do they do against Auburn? Spinning around is Zapala, who fades away. Nothing but air on it. Broome picks up this rebound. Does Auburn storm back with this? They start 10-16, but since they missed their last 5, they drop this to 10-21. No points in their last 4-17. On the left, it is Broome. Moved it back out. With speed is Pettiford. Pettiford down the lane. Rejected! Richardson trying to get it. Broome got to it first. Broome on the right side for Pettiford. Bounced out. It will stay with Auburn as it was deflected out by Richardson. What a swap by Jase Richardson as Pettiford got under the basket. Of course, being aggressive, nothing wrong with that. But you do want to make your shots. Michigan State averages 4.6 blocks per game this season, which ranks second in the Big Ten. They already have the only 2 blocks of this game so far, and one of the best defensive teams in the NCAA. Auburn's gonna hurry. With free, it's Broome. Broome trying to find some room. In and out and in. That took 3 bounces. Lead is back up to 10 for the Tigers. He's got 13 points. From the logo, it is Fears. In this de facto Auburn home game. The majority of the crowd here are Tigers fans. Shout out to the Michigan State fans who made a trip, by the way. Going all the way down, driving down Interstate 75. Or flying to here from Lansing. Richardson. Richardson dropping back. Jase Richardson with free, with 2. Richardson spins, puts one up in a hurry, and buries it just before the shot clock expired. Spartans within 8. Richardson's got 7. Moving around at the left side, opening up is Baker-Mazara. Chad Baker-Mazara goes inside for Johni Broome. Broome will look left wing and sets up a cutting. Dylan Cardwell with a slam down through the baseline. 4:50 to play here in the half as Kohler drops back. On the left wing, stepping around is Richardson. No, it's Holloman. Holloman goes to Carr. Carr draws a double. He hooks one short, and it will go to Baker-Mazara. Off the rebound from Pettiford. Baker-Mazara. CBM finds Broome going inside, bounced off of Cardwell, and is picked up by Richardson. Richardson with speed down the left hash. Richardson tried to alley it, but he's fouled. Excellent setup by Auburn to get one back as Johni Broome sets a tic-tac-toe passing play. Going over to Pettiford, finds a cutting Cardwell who went down the baseline. Excellent setup, and it got Kohler to overcommit on his man. But he's trapped. If he goes one way, that allows Pettiford to get loose. If he commits to Pettiford, it allows Cardwell to get open. Richardson, 3 of 4 shooting so far in this game. He has 7 points, one which was a 3-pointer. First shot, banked it. 4:22 to go. His parents have made the trip. His dad wearing the Jordan Brand hat. Jordan Brand being notable among basketball grounds. The Charlotte Hornets have them as their jersey partner. Michigan State wearing Nike jerseys. Second shot. Got it. And now we have substitutions on the way. It's a 27-19 Tiger lead with Jaden Akins checking in. Jase Richardson subs out. Richardson has 9 of the 19 points for the Spartans. He's been outstanding so far. Michigan State is 5 of 5 from the free throw line. MSU, back on defense. They are excellent this year when defending. Denver Jones. And he lost a sneaker. Gets back up. He has to get back his sneaker at some point. And he does. Pass inside to Broome. Broome with 5. Kicks it back out. Opens up Baker-Mazara. Bounced off the rim. Rebound is picked up by the Spartans. And down for the near side is Akins. Jaden Akins opens up for Trey Holloman. Holloman from the logo. MSU trying to find options. No swing pass to Zapala. Holloman staying, hey, I'm going to do this myself. Holloman. He'll open up for Collar, and now Akins. Akins drives, kicks out. Holloman trying to find room at the left hash. Holloman rejected out of bounds by Broome. Cardwell, excuse me. 3:28 to go, and when we come back, the Spartans have 4.1 to shoot. They trail by 8 on the Tigers. But what a block by Dylan Cardwell as we go to break. Still here from Atlanta, Georgia, as Auburn continues to lead by 8. So far, that's been the most common lead here throughout this bunch. 27-19, the lead here from Atlanta. This is where they want to be at. Auburn. They are a team that starts slow, but they finish fast with halftime adjustments. Tom Izzo is not known to shy away from games, but his Spartans are 6-25 shooting so far. 2-12 from 3. Auburn 12-25. 3-10 from 3. The Tigers have not shot a free throw, but Michigan State has made 1 of their last 7. Make that 2 of their last 8 on this three-pointer. Kohler delivers this one through with 3:15 to go. His second free of this game, and both his baskets have came on three-pointers. He's been one of the more reliable three-point shooters. 12 made field goals on 8 assists are the Tigers. Can't get that one, but there was a hand on the way. But Cardwell, he threw that one away. Was it saved? They may have to take a look at this to see if it was a backcourt violation. They'll say no for the moment. It bounced out. Michigan State will get it back, so it will not matter much. Holloman knocked away. It'll end up with the Tigers. 2:42 to go. On the left wing, no three-pointer immediately, as Cooper is guarding his man. Step back three for Baker-Mazara, short. Rebound is tipped up. It's going to be picked up by Kohler. Kohler immediately delivers this one through. Several drop passes. Trey Holloman gets back inside on the play. Holloman immediately left side for Akins. Akins. Kohler. Right wing gets it back over to Kohler from Holloman. Akins drives, layup, doesn't go. Broome the rebound. Chad Baker-Mazara. Baker-Mazara drops it back on the right wing for Pettiford. Pettiford will move around over to the left wing. Pettiford down to left hash. Gets it in! And the foul! Tahaad Pettiford wanting to do the dirty work. What a move to the inside. How about this? He is so smart when going to the baseline and recognizing the advantages around. What a finish here for this man. 5 points to a 5 from the field with 3 assists in this game. This free throw bounced out. Michigan State trying to cut into Auburn's lead still. Defensively, Michigan State is getting tested, but Tom Izzo is no stranger to getting tested. Holloman swings it out on the right wing as the Spartans look. Crowded by Jones, and on the left side is Holloman, who drives this one, can't finish. Broome the rebound. 7-point lead for the Tigers with 1:30. Starting up is Chad Baker-Mazara. Baker-Mazara opens up. Nice cut inside. And this one bounces to tip in by Broome. Johni Broome is a menace. The Spartans go back with this. On the right, it is Jeremy Fears. And it seems that my OBS is disconnected. Trying to get back into this. Reconnected now, so we're back on here. On the left, it is Richardson driving for Kohler. Kohler kicks it out for Holloman, and Kohler gets it back with 2. Kohler, he traveled. 1 too many steps. 50.7 to go here in this first half. But it was visible that he took 1 too many steps as he was boxed out. Tried to do a half spin, and Izzo was upset, but that was clear travel, and no argument there. Izzo still trying to argue, but Izzo actually may be more fired and more fiery about the fact about the travel. Cut inside. Pettiford clears it out. Left wing 3 on the way is short, and Kohler jumps up for the board. 37 to go in the half. On the drop, starting this one up on the right wing, it's kicked out all the way to the logo. 28 on the game clock. 20. It's a 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Jeremy Fears fakes a jump start. Now he'll swing right. Fears opens things up for Holloman. Draws contact. Basket goes for Akins. And 1. 15.9 to go. Jaden Akins with a tough bucket as he gets a hand onto his face. Nice setup from Fears. As Akins goes inside, gets a hand onto his face, banks it off the window. Jones trying to plead his case, but he was used as a pickpocket and was put into a tough position. Akins gets his first points on his 7th shot. 0 for 4 from 3, and has a chance to make this a 6-point game. Auburn will have the last shot regardless. The end one. Bounce around, rolled, stayed out, and there was a crowd for the ball. There was a head in the way. And Michigan State does have fouls to give. It is a loose ball foul. This is the third one against MSU. Insane discipline by the Spartans. Auburn up 31-24 as Johni Broome gets settled back onto the play. He was the one drawing the foul. He has 21 double-doubles this season, which is a team record. 15 points, 11 rebounds. It's not the end of the first half. And already he has a double-double, showcasing why he is the most dominant player in the NCAA. A foul here with 11.9 on the drive. Winner here draws Florida. It'll be Duke and Houston in the Final Four. 11.9 to go in the first half. Want to see how the Spartans adjust here at halftime. On the sideline, inbounded in by Baker-Mazara. On for Pettiford. Tahaad Pettiford opens up for Broome. Decides not to shoot the free. Broome fires around, draws the contact. He'll go to the line. The fourth foul against MSU. Rather, the fifth one, actually. More opportunities here for Johni Broome as he'll look to get up to 17 points. There was a hand on his face when he was driving towards the inside. As a feed from Pettiford. He fakes out Zappala. He'll head over to the line shooting 2. His fifth first half double-double this season. First shot bounced in. Zappala will sub out alongside one of his other teammates. So 2 substitutions in this play. 3.9 to go. We'll have a word here before we end the half, so we're going to stay with you. Jase Richardson, Frankie Fiddler, both subbing in here. So we're staying with you for the entire way. We already went over the Houston-Tennessee game, but already Auburn is imposing their will on for the wave. We're not going over scores here for the moment, but this will be another free throw for Johni Broome to get the substitutions onto the court. And right now, Auburn is enjoying themselves an 8-point lead, almost a 9-point lead. I don't want to jinx myself. 3.9 to go in the South Regional Final. Broome has 2,500 career points and 1,500 career rebounds all time in the NCAA, joining Dickie Hemrick, Elgin Baylor, and Elvin Hayes throughout the career. Broome tried to make this a 9-point game. Dribbling this one through and then firing. Good. Michigan State's the last shot. Fears gets open. With 2, with 1, Fears drives baseline, bounced out. And that's how the first half ends. Auburn leads Michigan State 33-24 at the half. And Johni Broome adds another first half double-double with 17 points and 11 rebounds. When we come back, it'll be the halftime report plus updates around the NCAA on the women's side, plus the Frozen Four tournament so far. We'll be right back in just a moment. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned. At the half, it is 33-24 Auburn over Michigan State. Johni Broome with another dominant showcasing 17 points, 11 rebounds in the first half. That's his 16th or 15th first half double-double in the NCAA this season. I am Alec Nava. Welcome to the Halftime Report. Both teams have 20 rebounds. 11 of the 20 rebounds for Auburn have come from Broome himself, and he is the backbone of this Auburn team. Miles Kelly with 7 points. He has a three-pointer. To his credit, Broome has 3 offensive rebounds. The next most came from Chaney Johns, who has 2 offensive rebounds out of his 4. 8 assists for Auburn on the way. 2 steals, 1 each from Tahaad Pettiford and Miles Kelly. The lone block came from Dylan Cardwell. For Michigan State, the scoring has been all over the place. 9 points for Jase Richardson. And at one point, he had 9 of 19 Michigan State points. He is 3 of 4 shooting. 5 points out the bench for Frankie Fiddler. 2 rebounds to go with that as well. Jackson Kohler with 6 points, 6 rebounds. Both of his shots came on three-pointers. All of his points came on three-pointers. 6 points for Michigan State. So at the half, Michigan State is 8 of 30. Auburn 14 of 32. From 3, Michigan State 3 of 13. Auburn also 3 of 13. And at the line, the Spartans 5 of 6. The Tigers 2 of 3. Rebounds are even up at 20. Assists are 8-6 Auburn. Steals even at 2. Blocks 2-1 Spartans. Turnovers 5-2 Spartans. Points off turnovers are 8-4 Tigers. Fast break points are 3-2 Tigers. Points in the paint, the big difference, 18-10 Tigers. Just like with the Duke-Alabama game. The largest lead has been 15 in favor of the Tigers, as they controlled the pace of play. So on the women's side, on their end, the score sheet for today's games in the Elite 8. South Carolina, the defending champions, oust Duke 54-50 in a low-scoring affair. Chloe Kitts with 14 points, 4 rebounds. Sania Fegan with 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. All over the court on both ends. This defensive team, a defensive-minded victory for Dawn Staley's group. To outlast the 18 points from Toby Fournier. 6 rebounds and 3 blocks. 13 points for Ashwan Jackson. 6 assists, 3 rebounds for the Lady Blue Devils. UCLA, 72-65 over LSU as LSU suffers back-to-back Elite 8 exits. The UCLA Bruins getting 18 points for Gabriela Jaquez, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 17 from Lauren Betts, 7 rebounds, and a monster 6 blocks. She has all of the 6 blocks for UCLA. Flau'jae Johnson tried to fight back with 28 points of her own with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 15 points for Anissa Morrow, 7 rebounds, 4 points, 10 rebounds from Samia Smith, 10 points for Michaela Williams, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. And that is the women's March Madness slate. To go over to the men's Frozen Four slate so far. The women's Frozen Four is concluded with a Wisconsin National Championship. Their 4th in 5 years. So I did go over some of the score lines. I went over Boston University blowing out Ohio State 8-3, scoring 6 unanswered goals. Western Michigan won it in double overtime, 2-1. Cornell upset Michigan State 4-3. 10 seconds ago with Sullivan Mack. UMass upsets Minnesota 5-4 in overtime on the first day of the tournament. A winning goal in the first overtime here for the UMass Minutemen to upset the Golden Gophers, led by Jimmy Snuggerud, who signed an entry-level contract with the St. Louis Blues, a team who drafted him. Snuggerud scored twice, including the tying goal. UMass came back from down 3-1 to win, and we're up by 4-3 until Snuggerud tied it. Oliver Moore, another signee, set up that one to set up Snuggerud for the tying goal on the way inside. How about this from Snuggerud and Moore? But it was Aidar Suniev to win it for UMass. 5-4. in overtime. That was the first day of the Frozen Four tournament. On the second day, Boston College survives a scare from Bentley to win it 3-1. They were tied at 1 for most of this game, but it was as BC coming out on top thanks to a late goal in the third period, and they sealed the deal with an empty netter. Bentley tied it up with Ethan Lee scoring the tying goal. Gabe Perreault scored the first goal. The winning goal from James Higgins with a minute 17 to go. Ryan Leonard with the insurance marker on the empty net. UConn, in their first ever tournament appearance, defeats Quinnipiac 4-1. What a gutsy effort from this group. Hugh Larkin, Ethan Gardola, Tristan Fraser, and Joey Muldowney with the goals for the Huskies in their first ever tournament appearance. Jeremy Wilmer had the only one for the Bobcats in this all-Connecticut showdown. The Denver Pioneers, the defending national champions, start their title defense bid with a 5-1 victory over the Providence Friars. It was dominance all around. Connor Capone, Z. William, Sam Harris, Aiden Thompson, Connor Capone again. Well, that was it. Yeah, it was Carter King to seal the deal. And a big game for Matt Davis, who stopped 30 of 31 shots in a huge victory. And Penn State, underdogs throughout the season, but they don't care if they're underdogs. They love being in the underdog position. They beat the Maine Black Bears 5-1. J.J. Wybush, Matt DeMarsico, Dane Dowiak, DeMarsico again, and Dowiak again, scoring for the Nittany Lions. They defeat the Black Bears and knock them off. Penn State has been on the right side of upsets. They are the cardiac Nittany Lions, as they knock down heavyweights in Minnesota, Michigan State, and Michigan. Though Michigan themselves have not done too well this year. Their Big Ten championship bid ended at the semifinals at the hands of Ohio State. On day 3 of the Frozen Four tournament, the Boston University Terriers knock off the Cornell Big Red 3-2 in regulation. It was a regulation win. Overtime, I meant. Cornell put them on the upset watch with Ryan Walsh and Jack O'Leary scoring. The Macapone and Cole Hudson scored for BU in the first and third periods respectively, before Quinn Hudson ended in overtime, set up by Ryan Green and Shane LaChance. What a win it is. Ian Shane stopped 40 of 43. And despite the loss, Mikhail Yegorov, what a win it is for him. 37 of 39. Rounding himself into an underrated netminder. Western Michigan knocks off UMass 2-1 in overtime. Not in overtime, in regulation, to get a crucial victory for Western Michigan on the way to the Frozen Four held in St. Louis this year. Tim Wash with the winning goal, 2:47 into the third period. Dan Logmelis with the first goal for UMass before Liam Valente tied it with 1:25 to go in the second period. Underway are Penn State and UConn, an unlikely regional final in Allentown. Penn State has the home crowd on their side, but if we ever come to a scenario where we have to cover this game, we'll have bonus coverage of Penn State versus UConn. Joey Muldowney and Tabor Heaslip have the goals for UConn. Penn State has goals from Dane Dowiak and J.J. Wybush. Maybe I'll be speaking too soon with the Penn State UConn game. However, should we need to go into the extra frame, we'll keep an eye closely for this game because this is a regional final. If there's extra hockey at Allentown, we'll be having bonus coverage of the Penn State UConn game after the Auburn Michigan State game. But This is a thriller that could be in the making here between the Nittany Lions and the Huskies. UConn's in their first ever Frozen Four tournament outing. Penn State looking to make their first ever Frozen Four. The later game is Denver and Boston College, a rematch of last year's national championship, which Denver won off a 35-save shutout outing from Mac Davis. One of the better college netminders right now. Davis establishing himself as a household name among Denver Pioneer circles. Zeev Boyum also backing him up. How about this kid? He has been tremendous for the Pioneers. And when the pressure is highest, he does up his game to another level. Checking in with the NHL scoreline, especially the Ovechkin watch, the great chase. This Capitals comeback bid falls short. Ovechkin gets 1 goal against the Buffalo Sabres. Pierre-Luc Dubois redirected a potential goal from Ovechkin. It was on the power play, but Ovechkin gets the primary assist in the end. Alex Tuch with the insurance marker that sealed the deal for Buffalo, and Peyton Krebs sealed off the comeback bid. 8-5, Buffalo wins it. The Winnipeg Jets get win number 51 on the year with a 3-1 victory over the Vancouver Canucks. Kyle Connor, then Mason Appleton, and then Cole Perfetti with one of the nastiest goals all season as he turned the Canucks world upside down. What a goal, what a move. The only goal from Piers Suter with his 22nd of the year. And getting the win was Connor Hellebuck, who stopped 23 of 24. Didn't have to do too much, but he was serviceable. Washington gets goals from Ovechkin, Dubois, Alexei Protas, Jacob Chikrin twice. Protas gets one shorthanded. Chikrin's up to 20 goals, one of the highest scoring defensemen in the NHL. Tage Thompson gets 2 goals. Ryan McLeod once, Alex Tuch twice. Sam Lafferty and Peyton Krebs each once. Goaltending was not the strongest suit in this game. But you know what was the strongest suit of the game for the Canadians? Goal scoring. Especially Nick Suzuki, who scored once and had 2 assists. Suzuki had the winning goal in the third period, 2:02 in. Yuri Slafkovsky and Patrick Laine on the power play got on the board for Les Canadiens. Laine and Slafkovsky on the power play, that's been their strongest suit. Sam Reinhart and Seth Jones got 2 goals. Not each. They each got 1 goal for the Panthers, but that was all they can muster. Reinhart 13-16 into the first period. Jones 16-24 into the second period. As the Canadians get a 4-2 victory. Senators and Penguins are underway. They're into the second period now. So you can look at their netminders. Near the chase for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Anton Forsberg and Tristan Jarry, 14 and 17 saves respectively. Utah's up 3-2. Hurricanes and Islanders tied at 2. So the Dallas Stars have clinched the playoff spot. The Seattle Kraken have been eliminated from the chase. Among the NBA teams, the New York Knicks are the 3rd team in the Eastern Conference to clinch a playoff spot. The Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers have both been eliminated. Just the Oklahoma City Thunder have clinched a playoff spot among Western Conference teams. We're waiting for who clinches the next spot in the Western Conference. So the winner between Auburn and Michigan State will head to San Antonio in the Final Four. We'll be right back with you. I'm Alec Nava. See you soon for the second half. Getting back into action, we're just moments away for the second half here between Auburn and Michigan State. Trip to San Antonio on the line here. Auburn up 33-24. Johni Broome with a first half double-double, up 17 points and 11 rebounds. And those rebounds on the defensive end. He likes to clean up the glass. Mop-up duty is complete. For the most part, Michigan State has shot 27% in this game, while Auburn shooting 44%. Both teams are 3 of 13 from the arc. 20 points each, or 20 rebounds each, 7 bench points each. But points in the paint and field goal percentage are the two advantages that Auburn had in that first half. And that's what's winning them this game so far. Nothing easy has been the motto of Michigan State throughout this run. Jase Richardson has 9 points. All of them have been 2-pointers. Layups, mid-range shots, you name it. That's how Michigan State has to thrive by, the 2. As neither team has had an advantage on the three-pointer over one another. Alec, now here with you. Be covering this game on the rest of the way. Be back with you for the Final Four and the National Championship game. Whichever one is going to be covered. Duke versus Houston is one of them. But who knows which one I'm going to cover on the next one. Everyone gets back onto the court as Johni Broome, the best player on this court, getting set for action right now. And Jase Richardson wants to get back with some measures of revenge. Who knows how this will shake up. But this is going to be a very interesting finish as Michigan State starts with possession. There have been no jump balls in that first half as Jeremy Fears Jr. starts up with this. Jase Richardson through the left. Richardson pulls up, adjusts. Could have laid this one through. Rebound is pulled down by Auburn. And both teams fighting for it, but there is a foul. As a tackle from Richardson was what initiated that. Simon Zapala couldn't get that one as Richardson fell right over the man that was rebounding. Already 2 fouls against Richardson. You remember, don't get yourselves into foul trouble as Michigan State was very disappointed that first half. Just 6 fouls. Auburn's 27-1 were leading at the half this season. Trying to get win number 28 in that category. Near side, Broome finds a cutting Baker-Mazara inside, but that pass was overthrown. Oh, that pass was a little too far, but that's twice now that Auburn misfired on a pass. Or twice in this game, rather, because Michigan State had one of their own. On the left is Fears. Zapala sets up the screen. Fears boxed out, sets up Zapala, who bounces this one through. He seemed to have missed a dunk, but no matter, the ball bounced its way inside. It had eyes. 50 seconds in, that's 12 points in the paint for the Spartans. Cardwell, he'll swing it out and down the baseline. Goes Denver Jones to restore the 5-point lead. Fears speeds up. Kohler, who swings this one out and sets the screen on the left. And then moving up front, it is Akins. Left wing for Kohler. Kohler with Broome on, and Kohler knocks it down. 35-28 for the big man. 18:37 left in the second half. Kohler's got 8 points. That's his first basket. That's not a free. Broome delivers it on for Kelly. Miles Kelly. Broome trying to get open. Instead it's fed to Jones. Jones, ball deflected up, and this one bounced. It'll go to Michigan State. That looked to be too close to call, but Denver Jones is roughed up. The man from Newmarket, Alabama, got himself into a crash with Jeremy Fears as he went up and over. Oh my goodness, that looked to be scary. Good that he's okay, but he was roughed up visibly. Third foul against Jones. And he's going to sit down for the sequence. Tahaad Pettiford is going to swat in. From the logo, Michigan State looks. Kelly screen, left wing. Step back to free. Double rimmed out. Cardwell gets this rebound. And it's swung across for Pettiford. Pettiford, the Jersey City, New Jersey native. Moves over to the right with Fears on him. Pettiford swings it over to Dylan Cardwell. Kicks out right corner. Broome swings in. Broome rejected. Gets his own rebound back. Broome doubled up. Broome going to kick it out for Baker-Mazara. Couldn't sink the free. And this bounces on for Kohler. Down with speed is Fears. Fears rejected but a foul. Up and over goes Broome. They're going to rule it a goaltend. And Jeremy Fears with no fear as he got this one off the window. And as Broome blocked it, that was well too late to have it rejected. And it's going to count as 2. Jeremy Fears, as Ian Eagle best said it, fearless. Up the near side, Auburn trying to answer the goaltend. Broome sets up the screen as it's Baker-Mazara. Miles Kelly swings it out. Open man is Chad Baker-Mazara. Up for the left hash. He steps back, fires the free. Partially blocked. And it's saved inside by Cardwell. On the left corner, Kelly trying to fake out. With 5, with 4, Baker-Mazara answers. Chad Baker-Mazara with a deep tray. Just a 4th free for Auburn in this game. Neither team has a distinct advantage upon each other. And nearly was taken away, but there's a foul against Kelly. Bruce Pearl shaking his head. But a lot of penetration on Auburn that allows the freed up space for Baker-Mazara to sink that free. But it almost was deflected away as Fears looked like he elbowed Kelly. Denver Jones and Miles Kelly each have free fouls. They're in foul trouble right now. And Pearl is going to make another substitution as Jackson Kohler is going to sub back in. Kelly's going to get out. Fears Jr. recognizes that there was an arm with Kelly on him and decides to foul bait. Kelly with 7 points, 2 rebounds, but already with 3 fouls. Fears will sit down. Trey Holloman is in. Looking to get an advantage. Jase Richardson runs left. Holloman gets a screen. Holloman drives up and kicks it out for Kohler. Kohler shut off. He'll set up Richardson. Richardson spins, turns, rejected by Cardwell. And back comes Auburn with numbers. Inside, no pickpocket. Cardwell bounces in. And the Tigers up by 10. Tom Izzo has not lost against the SEC in March Madness. Auburn's trying to change that narrative. On the left wing, it is Holloman. Broome watching Kohler one-on-one. Kohler trying to get an advantage. Hooks one inside. And the Spartans within 8. This is going to get interesting. Jackson Kohler 4 of 6. 3:55 into the second half. 22-18, the point to the paint advantage in favor of Auburn. Baker-Mazara goes to Johni Broome, spins out, loses the ball, gets a hand check. 15:54 to go in the second half. Jase Richardson rejected by Dylan Cardwell. Auburn's doing it all on both ends of the court. But what a feed to Cardwell as he does it both. Defense to offense in a nutshell. We'll be back. Back here with Auburn in front. Michigan State trying to pull off this comeback. They trailed by as much as 15 points. As we look at the fan cam all around. Oh, there's a lot of fans that have taken into account every bit of the moments. Both Auburn fans and Michigan State fans. This is a majority Auburn crowd. And it's easy to make the trip. But these fans are dedicated. They know what it feels like to taste success. Michigan State knows that too well. They're trying to make it to the Final Four for the first time in 6 years. They're down by 8 with Auburn at the front. Swing pass left, and now moving in front is Pettiford. Pettiford lays this one in. Off the window indeed. Wow, pass towards the left wing. Now it's kicked back out. Holloman will start up. Trey Holloman will find an open man to the right side as Jaden Akins. Akins drives left. Akins to the basket. Broome swats it away. And then Kohler sets up a cutting Cooper. Retaliation after that Broome block. It's an 8-point game again. The Spartans not going down by the fight. That's the 8th assist by the Spartans so far. On the far wing, it's set up to Baker-Mazara. Chad Baker-Mazara wants to go to Broome. Can't do so here. And now finally does so. Broome draws the contact. Oh my! Johni Broome flexes in front of his crowd. And he'll shoot one. Right place, right time as Broome sets up the screen in front of Cohen Carr. You box him out. Baker-Mazara right between the legs of 2 defenders is set him up. Ho ho. How's about this for a nasty bucket? Broome with his 5th double-doubles. Buying it. That's 5 in NCAA tournament history. Ties him for the most with Shaq. And he makes the free throw. After it bounces around. It's an 11-point game now. And the Auburn crowd is fired up. He's got 20 points with 12 rebounds. On the left wing. The Tigers watching all over the place as Carr wants to get open. Baker-Mazara would not let him by. This layup swatted away. And a foul called at the end. Chaney Johnson comes into the play with Jackson Kohler in front. That was not all ball, as there was a hand on Kohler. Was 10 points so far, 8 rebounds. Trying to get his double-double. He takes a breath. And he takes some dribbles. He's taking his sweet time with this. First shot. Bounced in. Izzo has 14 March Madness wins when trailing at the half. The most all time. Tied with Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski. He's now retired. Enjoying life. Second shot. Was that a lane violation? Yes, it is. So he will get a third free throw. So yeah, that bounced too far, but Kohler will get another free throw because of that lane violation. 45-35 to lead here in favor of the Tigers. This second one, there it is. And a practice layup is made by Auburn at the end. Kohler's going to sub out. And so now get the number 8, Frankie Fiddler, back inside. Moving up the far side, it is Pettiford. Swings it out for Johnson. Now Kelly. He'll swing this for Broome. Broome. Oh! With authority! Johni Broome gets the electricity running and overflowing. On the left wings, Michigan State with a chance to answer back. With Baker-Mazara watching all over the place. Here's Cooper setting up the screen for Holloman. Kicks it out on the left side. Cut inside. Way up in. It's a 9-point game one more time. Thanks to Fiddler, who cuts this to a 9-point game. Punch, counter punch, but Michigan State Able to cut it to 8, maybe 9. 3-pointer on the way. Didn't go, and Michigan State could cut this lead even further. Holloman looking to establish a run. Moves it over left for Cooper. Swings it out. Here's Cohen Carr. Carr drives, fakes, and then delivers. Offensive rebound by Fiddler. Kicks it out for Holloman. Going inside, back inside. Cooper couldn't sink the second one. And now here's Chad Baker-Mazara with the rebound. Leaving this one up for Tahaad Pettiford. Michigan State 6 of 12 shooting in this half. Auburn 6 of 10. Pettiford moves right with Holloman on. And Pettiford fires this one too far. And Cooper gets this rebound. And he gave it away. Open man Johnson. Kelly couldn't deliver this one. Cooper gets another rebound. And this time he makes sure to pass it to the right guy. Left wing side is Holloman. Cooper gets open. Cooper moves inside. Cooper fouled on a hand check. A feed inside for Johni Broome as he gets things cleared up. Through 2 defenders, he clears the gap. And his parents all fired up, seeing their son excel. 22 points, 12 rebounds on 9-12 shooting. Dominance defined. He subs out, and the Spartans wanted to take advantage, but Auburn wanted to get their quicker guys on the lineup as Michigan State's pushing the pace. Here's Jeremy Fears, who kicks it back out for Jase Richardson. Richardson. Fears wanting to get open. Tic-tac-toe. Richardson moving left through the hash marks. Rolled out. And a foul away from the ball with 12:33 left. That's Simon Zapala. The Polish Punisher, as I like to name him. 12:33 to go. As this foul is a loose ball foul, and Michigan State will get to keep it as it's against Auburn. Deep pass, back inside. Zapala averages 4 rebounds per game, 0.6 blocks per game. And a foul here. That's going to be Zapala. Called for an offensive foul for an illegal screen. 12:26 to go in this half. Not what Michigan State wants. Zapala arguing the call, and he's getting frustrated. He thought that was a legal screen, but that's not what Don Daly saw. And now Izzo's group back on defense. Are they going to be in the E zone? Jones, Kelly, and Johnson in foul trouble, each have 3 fouls. On the left, it is Denver Jones, who swings it out on the right for Chad Baker-Mazara. Feds eats it over to Cardwell. Extra pass to Jones. And the right corner is open up. Here's the 3 on the way. Bank shot! What a swish on the way. Quick movements. Quick dicing up. Richardson can't answer. Auburn trying to grab it, and they do. Surviving the contact as Chaney Johnson draws the foul. This Auburn crowd fired up, trying to make it 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four for the first time in 17 years. They lead 50-38 with 11:52 to go. gets to join Duke, Houston, and Florida in the Final Four at San Antonio, where they'll be playing at the Alamo Dome. Tip-off between Florida and the winner of this game will be at 6:09. Between Duke and Houston will be at 8:49. Those times are in Eastern Time. Houston holds Tennessee to 15 points in the first half and a 69-50 win. That's the fewest allowed in the Elite Eight all time. Florida ends their game on an 18-4 run and an 84-79 win over Texas Tech. Duke has never trailed against Alabama in their win, and they advance to the Final Four. Johni Broome getting some medical attention. He is getting his hand taped up. And now Dylan Cardwell looking to keep this momentum up for the Tigers. On the right wing, faded side, here's Cardwell. He is met at the rim, but he's fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. He just needs a moment here as he got roughed up on the way there, falling down hard. It's 50-38. That's actually Chad Baker-Mazara. Chad Baker-Mazara off the block inside as he rejected Carson Cooper. Johni Broome, also part of that, he's feeling it. Broome is feeling his left shoulder, and he is taking a breather. Cardwell and company, they know they're deep, and they're loaded with talent. His first shot is too far. So there's 1 of 2 free throws. So Broome has a shoulder issue after that first half double-double. So how will this Tigers team fare? Oh, Broome was having some fun over at the sidelines. Tom Izzo seeing his undefeated streak against the SEC in March Madness on the line. Second one, he missed both. And this bounces up and around. Michigan State picks it up. Here is Fears. Zappallo with 4 fouls. He is 1 away from fouling out and being tossed. Jeremy Fears from the logo in the picture. Fears moves around and he fakes out a man that is number 5 of Auburn. Chris Moore inside is banked off the window. And it's a 10-point deficit for the Spartans. Thanks to Jase Richardson, who has 11 points. 4-10 shooting here in Atlanta. On the right wing, Auburn trying to start things up as they move towards the left. Long shot for Pettiford. Nothing but air, but this bounced out of bounds. And Johni Broome deciding to play through the shoulder pain. 22 points, 12 rebounds. As Chaney Johnson subs out, Broome will take his place. Johnson having some words for Bruce Pearl. Broome gets the green light and is good to go. Richardson slows things up, or rather Fears. On the court is Kohler, Fears, Akins, Fiddler, and Richardson. Here is Fiddler, who drives inside, met. And here comes Pettiford. Tahaad Pettiford at the left wing. Pettiford, shake and bake. Single coverage on him. Pettiford drops back several times, whistle on the play, and Broome is clearly not okay. Now he's favoring his right elbow. First was his shoulder, and now it's his elbow. On the end of this play, he falls down. Ooh, he looked like he might have favored his elbow. That does not look like a good sign. A frantic fall over his end of the court. He's the SEC Player of the Year, and that looked like it was a hard fall onto the court, and he was favoring his elbow. And a hush crowd here as he is taking a look at the elbow, not getting up. He is getting checked on here on his right elbow. And it looks like he wants to contest that shot, but oh my goodness. The next thing you know, that elbow gets blown. He had both that arm. He's also grabbing his left ankle a bit. And he's on his feet. The fans applaud him. So he's walking off. He's walking gingerly onto the locker room. He's going to have to substitute out because of the injury. So we assume that he's going to be done for the day. unless by some miracle he comes back onto the court, but that elbow does not feel good. He's shaking his head saying that I can't go. So, somber time here for Auburn, but Johni Broome is back onto his feet, but walking over to the locker room. So, how are you doing?
Doing good. I've kind of lost interest in March Madness, to be honest. It's just it's the number one seeds going at it, so there's really nothing interesting.
Unless this national championship can be an instant classic of a game, who knows? But Broome is out this game. In his Denver Jones, take his place. The mid-range shot. Oh, that double rimmed out. Rebound goes to Johnson. And he gets stripped of the ball, bounces out, stays with Auburn. So now, the last number 2 seed or lower is Michigan State. It is free number 1 seeds in the Final Four, inbound and onto the right wing. Here are the Tigers. They lead 50-40. They made just one of their last 7 shots. Backing up is Tahaad Pettiford, Auburn's best 6-man. This was a narrow shot that was short, and it will go to the Spartans. They're trying to push the pace here at the right wing. Jase Richardson gets a 1-on-1 matchup with Denver Jones. On the left is Fears, backing up through center. And it delivers it over to the left. Shake and bake around, it is Fiddler. Frankie Fiddler on Dylan Cardwell. Fiddler backs it up. And over the left side, Fiddler setting a screen. Now speeding for the lane is Holloman, bounced out. This bouncer rim, so the shot clock is reset. And then bounces out. Last touch by Auburn. And it will stay with the Spartans. Kohler that's the one battling for the ball for the Spartans, but it was knocked out by Auburn. Michigan State will get to keep. They trail by 15 in this game. Tom Izzo, the longest tenured head coach right now on the NCAA men's basketball side, 30 years they spent as Michigan State's head coach. Cohen Carr is going to sub back into the game. Tahaad Pettiford was defending that ball to try to get it away from Jackson Kohler. Izzo's old school style couldn't thrive here against Bruce Pearl and company. Michigan State's just one shot in their last 433 and counting. Jeremy Fears gets this one up for Fiddler. Fiddler goes left and then backs up. Long free on the way. Bounce too far. And his rebound goes to Carr. A car crash over at the logo. Fears got ran into with 9:20 to go. And if I'm Auburn, I have to be careful because you do not want to get into foul trouble. And without Johni Broome, things can get more precarious. Tahaad Pettiford ran like an angry bull right into the play. Right onto the logo, and that's another foul against Auburn. They have 6 in this half. Michigan State is 6. And Fiddler's going to inbound this. Tom Izzo watching ours from the sideline. This is in for Fears. Jeremy Fears. Does he start up something? He gets it off onto the left wing as Chaney Johnson watches ours. On the right wing as this is Richardson. Richardson dispossessed. Here comes Auburn 1-on-1. Johnson closed over the right side. Off the window and in. Lead is now 12 points. But Michigan State still has time to do something. 8:52 to play the half of the Auburn block. Fears sets up at the left corner for the open Kohler. Jackson Kohler goes 1-on-1, spins, turns to the free throw line, knocks it down. Jackson Kohler with his taste of action. 8:35 to go here in this second half. He's got 14 points, 8 rebounds. Michigan State wanted to have a repeat of 2019 when they knocked out Duke. When Tom Izzo and company went fearless against Zion Williamson and company. On the left side, it is Pettiford. Pettiford can't get this one off the window. Michigan State will restart with the ball. Here they come with Fears. Numbers on their side. Jeremy Fears Jr. will back up and set things up. Spin and turn is Fiddler, who sets it back up for Fears. Colin Carr for Fears. Fears down the right hash. Fears spins, fires, well short, tipped up twice, and it ends up with Miles Kelly. Difference is 10 points. Auburn will set things up. They're 8-19 shooting in this half. Michigan State 8-21. Slowing down the pace is Pettiford. Dylan Cardwell finds Pettiford again. Finds cutting Cheney. Rejected at the rim. And now here come the Spartans. Carr with the block. And here he comes down the left hash. Looks to set up. Finds Fiddler. Oh, he was driving towards the baseline and got body checked. 7:30 to go. And we'll go to break here. Auburn still up front. 52-42. So Ian, we got something in the Ovechkin chase. He is 5 goals away.
Let's go. And the St. Louis Blues, man, 9 in a row.
That's
9 wins in a row.
Oh yeah, hottest team in the league by far.
Yeah. I was gonna give Doug Armstrong a lot of crow for not trading, for not selling anyone at the deadline. But I will happily eat said crow because apparently he knew what he was doing.
Oh, that decision to keep Braden Shen looked to be questionable at first, but it's paying off now for St. Louis.
It is. And, man, I'll tell you what, look, if I had to pick a game where we were going to lose, if I had to pick games where we were going to lose, I would have picked Vancouver, Montreal, and then and the Avalanche. We won all those games.
The Avalanche one was especially the toughest one.
Yeah, Jordan Bennington is a beast in net.
He shows that, especially in pressure situations. Of course, he thrives when pressure is highest. One can safely say that the Four Nations face-off saved his confidence.
Definitely. And, you know what, man? From what I've been seeing out of Winnipeg lately, if the Blues make it, I think they can beat them.
If they get to a second wildcard spot, that is. But I think the Jets facing the Blues, that's a bad matchup for the Jets.
I think so.
All right, we're close to getting back into this game. Johni Broome left the game with 2 separate injuries, a shoulder injury and an elbow injury. Well, shall we say 3 separate injuries? He had injuries to his shoulder, elbow, and ankle all in the same game. So he is likely going to be out for the rest of this game. Oh yeah, he twisted his left ankle and his right elbow blew while he was trying to block off his man. Auburn has just 2 points and it's 1 of 6 shooting since Broome left with his injury. So this is Michigan State's time to capitalize here and to deliver a statement victory to make sure that they remain here for all intents and purposes. Also, here's a stat. Tom Izzo is 10-0 against the SEC in March Madness. That streak is on the line here. His boys are down 10 points. And 2 shots here for Frankie Fiddler. The first shot, banked in. 9-point game now for the Spartans. And Bruce Pearl having his back against the wall now all of a sudden. His boys are not behind. but he has to act like he is playing. His guys are playing from behind. 2 for 2 is Fiddler at the line, and he'll sub out in the place of Jaden Akins, number 8 for number 3. 7:30 to go, and those are the 2 numbers used by Richard Childress Racing of NASCAR. By the way, Denny Hamlin wins another grandfather clock at Martinsville Speedway in the Cookout 400. Right hash, it is Chaney Johnson, Broome's replacement. Johnson banks it in. Back to a 10-point lead here for the Tigers. 7:07 to play as Fears will set up for Cohen Carr. Carr trying to swing this one out, finds an open Trey Holloman. It's coming off the bench. Holloman, dipsy doodle, layup rejected by Cardwell, and it goes out of bounds as Holloman is helped up by his teammates. How many blocks does Cardwell have so far in this game? I've lost count already, but that looks to be about 3 blocks already for Cardwell. Well, actually, he's going to be called for a foul, so Holloman's going to shoot 2. I thought it was a clean block. First shot's good. So, at the best down the stretch, these 2 teams were losing 48-39 at the half. Michigan State won a 34-22 run to end the game. Auburn, 39-17. Michigan State against Ole Miss. Auburn against Michigan, respectively. 2 for 2. And so it's back to an 8-point game. And Michigan State's 8 wins were trailing by at least 10 points this season. They trailed by 15 today. Auburn almost lost a man. Denver Jones trying to fake out his man. Chad Baker-Mazara over to Jones. Jones moves up to the free throw line at the right hash, trying to find an open look. Finds the cutting Cardwell. Rimmed out. He gets it back and saves it. Out to Jones. Right wing free on the way. Bank shot. Another big free for the Auburn Tigers. And they're proudly roaring in the jungle with 6:18 to go. Here comes Richardson. On the right, Holloman. Holloman swings it out again. Back towards the left wing. Michigan State just free pointers. And it stays that way. 3 of 15 shooting from free. They've been shooting a lot of 2s. 6 minutes to go. And a game which they're shooting a lot of 3-pointers and they're going ice cold from there. You have to play your game, which is the 2-pointers. Rely on that more often than not. Baker-Mazara from the point. Swings out inside. It goes to Johnson. Johnson spins, turns. Can't hit that. And it goes to Carr on the rebound. Far side. And on the left wing, another free. Bounced out. Rebound to Michigan State. Richardson. Oh, a heavy car crash at the baseline involving Cardwell and Carr. And Carr will shoot 2 with 5:29. Oh, is that Stone Cold's music? Is that Stone Cold's music? Johni Broome is back. He's back. He is. What a turn of events here. Through 3 injuries that he's dealing through, he is back and he is angry.
Oh God! Oh God! It's Broome!
A dramatic turn of events here at Atlanta as the first shot flies.
My God, it's Broome, and he's got a chair.
And he's checking in. The marching band's loving it. The fans of Auburn are loving it. The towels waving here ferociously at the jungle. Here's the second shot. Flies. 9-point difference here. The Spartans wanting their say and wanting their taste of blood. And at the right wing, the free flies. Airballed. And Auburn saves it. Michigan State grabs it. Carr. Quick handle for Richardson, who kicks it back out. Left wing free on the way. In and out. And it bounces out to Broome, who gets his first rebound back. He's got 13. Off the floor. And he's back on the board. Not exactly He had a Gary Thorne call for Paul Correa, but he always set up at the right wing, or right corner, and sets it back up. Broome gets this one back. He'll let it fly. Oh my! Off the floor, and he gets back on top the board. 4:30 to play. 4:27 left as Michigan State seeing her big streak against the SEC on the line, and that's blocked by Johnson as this sails out of bounds. This may not look like a close game, but this is a thriller for the whole storyline of Johni Broome fighting through the injury. He's got 25 points, 13 rebounds, his 5th March Madness triple-double. A foul on Michigan State as Auburn was trying to drive to the baseline. We're 4-10 away from having all number 1 seeds in the Final Four for the first time in 17 years. National champion Kansas won it all in 2008. They had their biggest test against Davidson and Memphis. 90.7% shooter is Denver Jones. He'll fire the first one. Good! It's 1-1, but it's a 13-point lead. But what a thriller here. And what a roller coaster it is for Broome. He's still fighting through that right elbow injury. His workload's going to have to be limited, though. That's what I would believe here. Second shot. Rattles in. Jones hits both of them. And Broome having his Auburn Tigers all fired up. Michigan State's missed their last 6 shots. Fears. Both set up. Akins. Shake and bake. Akins drives inside. Hooks it through. It's a 12-point game. Crazier things have happened. Do remember, Florida erased a 9-point deficit with 2:55 left in the second half. On the left wing, Jones will find a cutting Johnson. Rolled in and out, but he will head to the line. 3:37 to go as he high-fives his teammates. The return of Johni Broome. His Auburn Tigers lead 62-50 when we return. All right. Trying to...
Is that Stone Cold's music? Good Lord, Al.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. I had to do it.
Yeah. You know what? On your YouTube channel, you should go... Because I'm sure the Auburn crowd was going nuts when it happened. Just go ahead and make an edit of him coming back with Stone Cold's music.
You know what? I'll do that. Oh, man, what a thriller. So, we still have yet to find out who's the winner between UConn and Penn State. They're both tied at 2 with 1:24 to go in the third period. The last goal came from J.J. Wybush with 11:57 into the second period. The last UConn goal from Tabor Heaslip, from Viking Gustafsson Nyberg and John Spetz. Wybush from Charlie Serrato and Simon Mack. Those are the last 2 goals, both of them in the second period. The goaltenders, Arseny Sergeyev, 25 of 27, and Callum Tung, 32 of 34. Penn State and UConn respectively, their teams. So it's tight. If we do go into bonus hockey, I don't know if we're going to have bonus coverage of Penn State versus UConn. But that could be the case. Also of note, this is UConn's first ever Frozen Four tournament appearance. They beat Quinnipiac in the first round. They're up against Penn State in the second round. One of these two teams are guaranteed their first ever Frozen Four appearance.
Wow. Wait, I thought they were already in the Frozen Four.
This is the regional final at Allentown.
I see.
It's hosted by the Lehigh Valley Phantoms and Penn State University. Back into this game, Auburn shooting 43%, Michigan State 30%. That poor shooting percentage has been hampering Michigan State throughout this game. It may be deja vu all over again. In 2008, it was North Carolina, Kansas, UCLA, and Memphis in the Final Four. It was the only Final Four with 4 number 1 seeds in March Madness history. But here, while on paper it may not seem like March Madness, the madness arose with the return of Johni Broome. Here's Chaney Johnson, who was a 70% free throw shooter. Sinks the first one. Auburn will be shooting 2 in this sequence because of the shooting foul. Against Michigan State, will have 8 fouls against them. It's a 13-point lead. But this thriller has seen the exit of Johni Broome with 3 injuries. Second free throw is short. Do the Spartans have life? They may not have a choice here when shooting three-pointers, even though their poor three-point shooting track record. Richardson backs up as Cardwell on him. Dylan Cardwell to Frankie Fiddler. Fiddler blows by Johnson. Fiddler intercepted. Here come the Tigers. Down the left hash. Inside. No. This rebound goes to Akins. With pace. Akins drives in. 11-point game. The Spartans are not done. 3:01 to go. Akins has 6 points. But that was his third make on 12 shots. Both teams each have 3 timeouts. And Auburn's playing a clock management game here. Denver Jones swings it out right wing. Now through center. Almost intercepted, but it's knocked out on time for Jones. On the right wing. No three-pointer, but it's kicked out. Extra pass, Jones draws a double. Here's Miles Kelly, left corner. Off the rim. And this will be towards Michigan State, but a whistle blown here with 2:31. Stranger things have happened in college basketball. Do you remember Jay Williams led Duke University to the miracle minute against the Maryland Terrapins in 2001. Duke won that game 98-96 in overtime. It'll be free throws for Auburn. 4 fouls against Jackson Kohler and Simon Zapala. Both of them are in foul trouble. And Dylan Cardwell, a graduate student from Augusta, Georgia, older brother of Drake Cardwell, another Augusta, Georgia native. First shot, rattled in. So Cardwell will get another one. So these two brothers through it all, through thick and thin, likely going to the Final Four. Cardwell takes a deep breath. This Auburn crowd thundering. He's delivered 2 blocks here. Shorn the second one. And so this will be picked up by Kohler, who set up Michigan State in a spot. Trying to pull off a comeback. Crazy things have happened. And stranger things have happened. 2:20 to go. Here's Akins. The shake. The bake. The delivery. That's just a 4th three-pointer by Michigan State all game. And a timeout taken by Tom Izzo as they're within 9 with 2:15 to go. 64-55, Auburn leads. And overtime awaits us in Allentown. Penn State 0 for 1 on the power play. UConn 0 for 1 on the power play. Both of these two teams are incredibly disciplined. Arseny Sergeyev with 28 saves through 3 periods. Bonus hockey in Allentown. Callum Tung with 32 saves out of 34. Top performers being Joey Muldowney, Tabor Heaslip, both wingers. Jake Richard, Hudson Shandor with assists, alongside Viking Gustafson Nyberg and John Spetz. For Penn State, assists come from Charlie Serrato, Simon Mack, Tyler Paquette, and Keaton Peters. And Tyler Paquette, no relation to Cedric Paquette, formerly of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, we do have a Dick's Sporting Goods commercial showing Kevin Durant and I Show Speed. And I Show Speed does a backflip. He's singing a lot. Whoa, sing double. And then you got Tom Brady riding a giant goat. So as to go over the spring Martinsville race, as it was Denny Hamlin getting the victory in the Cookout 400. Hamlin gets first and has the fastest lap. Christopher Bell second, Bubba Wallace third. Rounding out the top 5 are Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. Rounding out the top 10 are Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, and Todd Gilliland as surprise performer at the Paperclip. In his half-mile short track. So we're coming back here at Atlanta. Whoever wins this game will face the Florida Gators in the Final Four. 16 assists on 25 baskets for Auburn. That's been their defining moment. But those dimes have been the big key for why they're winning this game. A big time free. So it looks like we're going to be showing bonus hockey after this game concludes. 64-55, Auburn leads with Broome on the bench. Remember, he's on a lighter workload given that he's dealing with 3 separate injuries. Shoulder, elbow, and ankle. His mobility may be limited, so that's why Bruce Pearl is taking care of his body. Inside, Michigan State trying to foul, and Johnson in a straitjacket tried to get this off. Oh, they survive. An 8-second violation. They almost ran into one. Denver Jones playing the clock management. Michigan State trying to get right by this one. Jones drives backwards with 6. Gets it out. A bubble on the ball. Whistle blows. And a foul is called. That is Michigan State's 10th. Auburn will shoot 2 the rest of the way. But what a save by Tahaad Pettiford. He kept his foot in bounds. And what a pass by Chad Baker-Mazara. 2 shots for Johnson, who is a 71% shooter. He's 1-2 so far. 7 points. His first one. He missed it. Still, Michigan State's within 9. I feel the strategy here for Michigan State is that they want to foul the worst free throw shooters, as Pettiford is going to check out. 2 dribbles here. Second one. He sinks it. It's back up to 10. Michigan State has time to mount a miracle. They trail by as much as 15. Through the middle. Opening up over the left wing. This 3-pointer is good. Within 7. Jones tied up. Michigan State not trying to foul him. Jones speeds up. And he's going to look to the inside. Jones, baseline, delivers. 9-point game. Michigan State may have to fire a free. Oh, a slip up. A foul here against Auburn. That's going to be on Johnson. But Jones was going for a slip and slide, taking Michigan State with him. Jeremy Fears Jr., 74.1% free throw shooter, will get 2 shots at the line. Auburn over the limit. Michigan State will shoot 2 the rest of the way. Broome is going to check in here. And Tahaad Pettiford as well. For some offensive insurance. Fears taking some deep breaths. And as he practices. 2 dribbles. And then firing. Bounces out. Broome and Pettiford swap back in. Not a good free throw shooter, Fears. But he'll get another chance to draw Michigan State within 8. The storylines here, ever so thrilling. Taking some time with this. This second one. Rattled up and out. Broome saves it inside. And down here says Baker-Mazara. Look out, Jones. Trying to get this one away. And Michigan State commits the foul. And that'll send him to the line. He is an excellent free throw shooter. Making over 90% of his shots from the line. That could spell the end of the Spartans season. And we're just 70 seconds away from all number 1 seeds make it to the Final Four for the first time in 17 years when Kansas, North Carolina, UCLA, and Memphis made it. The first shot in. 10-point lead here. And Johni Broome, all smiles here. Silently keeping that smile to himself. But who knows how thrilled he is. You gotta imagine that behind that mask calmness is a giant smile. Second shot. Good. It's back up to 11. The Spartans have to hurry. They got 65 seconds. Swing it around over to the left side. Backing up is Akins. Step back jumper. Delivers. 8-point game. And another timeout taken with 59.2 by Tom Izzo. Who knows if this is madness in the making here, or if this is Sparta. Less than a minute ago, Michigan State tried to pull off the impossible here at Atlanta. We'll be staying with you throughout. Auburn has possession. Michigan State over the limit. Auburn is also over the limit. The Tigers have all 3 timeouts. And if Michigan State gets momentum, you can imagine that Bruce Pearl will use the timeout. 69-61 is the Tiger lead here in Atlanta. But who knows how this one will end. Chad Baker-Mazara is closed off. Jones caught in a straitjacket, just trying to get this one up. Ball is batted up, and this one will go to Michigan State. There is life in them. On the left corner, here's the free. Bounced out. Auburn the rebound. And another foul intentionally. And Miles Kelly is going to go to the line with 43.3. 92.2% shooter. This is not the guy you want to foul. Wow, that would have cut it to 5 points here and intensified the madness. On the left corner's Akins. He shot it in tight with Jones on him. Kelly's not the guy you want to foul in this situation. Right idea, but wrong player. As Kelly stepping up. He is yet to attempt a free throw. And he will get a pair as he is unsure of what is to happen. 92.2% free throw shooter. 7 points so far in this game. 43.3 shooter. And here it is with this opportunity. 43, 8.3 seconds left. And Kelly misses a rare shot. He doesn't miss those ones often. Auburn up by 8. Michigan State trying to thread the needle. Trying to pull off a miracle here. Under a minute to go. Second shot. Good. Up to a 9-point game. Michigan State has not shot well from free so far in this game, but they have no choice. They'll pull up and swing it back out. Everything is closed up. Auburn's not giving them anything. That bounced out on the jumper. Rebound is loose. It's going to be picked up. This is going to fight for the ball. It's going to be arrow to Auburn. 26.6 to go. And they can coast this one home. A mad scramble for this ball, resulting in Kelly picking this one up, and Bruce Pearl seconds away from the Final Four. The Auburn fans here are delighted. Inbounded inside as Michigan State's trying to foul, but they take it away, and they throw it away. Error after error on this sequence. An unforced error followed by another unforced error as Peters was closed off, trying to feed this one behind to Holloman. A very bad pass. Inside, here goes Broome, intentionally fouled, and he will head to the line to ice this for the Tigers. Not a good free throw shooter, but he's going to shoot 2. He is free of free tonight from the line. But what a moment it would be for him to seal this one off. First shot is too short. But he will get another chance. A breath. And then the shot. Too far. And the final moments here, possibly in Michigan State season. Left wing free on the way. Too far. Bounces up and it's good. But it might be too low, too late. Unless if it isn't. Deficit is down to 6. Michigan State now out of timeouts. As we check around, we'll have to see. And Penn State and UConn are getting into overtime now. When this game is over, we'll be switching on to the Penn State-UConn game, unless if that game is over in a hurry. This is the Frozen Four in the Allentown Regional. So the winner will head to St. Louis at the Enterprise Center to play the Frozen Four. Penn State almost got one early on UConn. That was so close to scoring the winner for them. 2-2 a minute in. They were on the losing end of the defeat against Michigan 2 years ago in the Frozen Four. So Auburn's going to inbound, 11.2 on the clock. So here we go. Here it is. Moving to inside. Looking upwards. Finally a delivery. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. As Baker-Mazara gets this one off. And this is poked away by Akins. The ball will stay with Auburn with 4.3. But you can imagine that Michigan State is going to be trapped. And Auburn is just a few seconds away from glory. For the first time in 17 years, 4 number 1 seeds will compete in the Final Four. The Auburn Tigers, Johni Broome, survive and advance. It's just their second Final Four in their school's history, and Tom Izzo's undefeated record against the SEC in March Madness comes to an end. 70-64, the win here for the Tigers as we get onto our final score lines. For Johni Broome, 25 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and a dominant victory. How about this for him? 17 points for Jackson Kohler, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. He has a double-double of his own. Jaden Akins, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And Jase Richardson, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. So that's going to do it from Atlanta. I'm Malik Nava saying so long.